Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media, and it is always a good day when we have a return appearance from our friends from the Academy of Our Lady of Peace. Joining us is Jamie Flannery, the Assistant Principal of Campus Life. How you doing, Jamie?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, doing just fine. Nicole Rubio is also joining us. She's in the senior class of 2024. How you doing, Nicole?
I'm great. How about you?
You excited to graduate?
Oh, yes.
Very, very good. We're going to start asking a whole bunch of questions. I'm joined, as always, by my very cool, energetic, effervescence, inimitable co-host.
You've been working on these.
Yes. My friend Kristen always wants me to come up with some new vocabulary for her. Kristen Fogel is the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary in Liberty Station this year. How are things going with the anniversary plans?
They're going well. We're going to have another event that's coming up, I think, toward the end of April. We're going to do some poetry and women through the decades. So 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, all women reading poetry. So it should be a fun time. It'll be at City Heights Annex. So thanks for asking.
Very, very good. So, Jamie, for those very few listeners of ours that have heard you many, many times, or what you guys are doing at OLP, what's the mission of the school?
Ultimately, when I think about OLP and our mission, it really is about serving the dear neighbor, getting out there. It is really in the fiber and the DNA of all things OLP. And it's just through our outreach with our students, our faculty, our staff, our administrators. And to me, that is really what echoes who we are.
And you've been involved for how long?
This is my 12th year now.
Oh, nice. My goodness. All right. Very good. How's Lauren doing?
Oh, Lauren's doing great.
Yeah, Lauren's been on the show a bunch of times. Lauren is the head, what do you call the headmistress? The head
I don't think that's right at all.
The head of school.
Head of school, right. Which is interesting because not principal, right? It's called head of school, right?
Head of school.
Yeah, exactly. She's been there for a while too, right?
She's been there 11 years now.
Yeah, she's done a great job, and we love having the students on. As Nicole will tell all the cool things that she is doing. Just do a little bit of a recap of the 10th Annual Women's Symposium.
So our 10th Annual Women's Symposium took place, was that 2 weeks ago now?
Yes.
Man, it was... Time flies in March, I tell you. It really, to me, it's one of my favorite days, on our campus. This was our 10th annual. It was very special. Together we rise. And it's really where we celebrate the achievements of women and girls around the world. We had just the pleasure and honor of hearing from so many inspiring panelists who, from various fields and walks of life, who wanted to just share their stories with our students. And what I especially love about this day is the message, for our girls that you are going to fall. There will be challenges, but from those challenges, you will rise, and that women really, when we are together, we can do anything. And this year, my daughter, she attended the conference, so it was super special.
Now, is it free to the public, or is it only for the OLP world?
We did sell tickets this year, but it is free to our entire campus. So, right. Yeah.
We're good. And good attendance? Always sold out, or I imagine?
Great attendance, yes.
Very, very good. Now, Nicole, did you attend?
Yes, I did.
Very good. Kristen, I know you got a bunch of questions for Nicole.
I do, yeah. I know that you kind of came to OLP through Be-YOU-ti-Ful. Yeah, so can you talk about how you found out about that and your experience?
Of course.
Yeah.
So back when I was in middle school, I was choosing between OLP and a different high school. And one of my friends who was a current sophomore at the time was a part of Be-YOU-ti-Ful. And I was very intrigued about it. And I was like, oh, like, what is Be-YOU-ti-Ful? And she told me that it's a club dedicated to empowering young women to surpass society's standards of beauty. And that their mission is to boost women's confidence and encourage them to embrace their unique selves. And that they believe that true beauty lies in authenticity, in being you. And every year they organize a conference inviting 2nd to 8th graders to spend a whole day on campus. And I was very intrigued that I decided to attend this conference. And at that day, I went through engaging activities and I formed so many bonds and I felt the sisterhood in middle school. And I was convinced that OLP was the right choice for me. And so upon entering my freshman year, I eagerly joined the Be-YOU-ti-Ful team. And it fills me with pride to say that I've been a part of this team for over 4 years now. And I love how we just like extend invitations into younger students and offer them a glimpse into our school community and to feel part of the sisterhood as well.
That's so cool.
No, it's really cool. So you're going to this symposium, you find out, boy, I think I want to be here. Now you're experiencing it 4 years later. What do you think you've learned the most about OLP?
The most I've learned is that you are not alone. Like everyone is facing something. It could be similar, something different, but that you're not alone in this, like in this world, that there's other people going through similar situations or anything going on in reality.
That's terrific. We are chatting with Nicole Rubio. She's in the senior class of 2024 for the Academy of Our Lady of Peace, joined by Jamie Flannery, Assistant Principal of Campus Life for OLP. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast. We're now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, broadcasting from these really nice Mission Fed studio here in Scripps Ranch in Mission Fed for more than 6 decades. Has been doing great things for us folk living in San Diego County, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She is the Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary. Kristen?
Yeah. I went to Catholic school for 12 years, and I think you have a beautiful mission. But when I think about Catholic education also, I think about academic rigor. So maybe, Jamie, you can speak a little bit to that and how that's embedded in the school.
Yes. So, at OLP, everything we do is really about educating today's girl and meeting her needs. And the rigor is there in all of our courses. And really, I guess what I can say is that, yes, our courses are challenging, but every single faculty member on our staff gives so much to our students day in and day out, really preparing them for when they leave OLP, when they graduate. Nikki's about to graduate, and so it is embedded in the curriculum, and again, really getting our girls ready for what's to come when they leave. So
yeah, and it sounds like the experience there is the same that I had. It is rigorous, but also there is this underlying culture of, but you can do this, but you are fully capable of rising to the challenge.
All of which women are capable is the CSJ way, and again, I want to say it's embedded in that fiber in the DNA of our students. That yes, your curriculum will be hard, but you will have that support. Because as we know, life is hard, life is challenging.
Yeah.
And, but I think also at OLP, we do a great job with balancing the academics with the student life and all of the things that we offer there for our girls. There is something for all.
So, Nicole, have you thought about what college you're going to attend?
I was just going to ask that. I always love to go down that rabbit hole. I want to know where everyone's going to school, what they're going to study. Tell us more.
Yes.
So I have decided where I want to go, but we're still waiting on decisions so far.
Okay.
But so far from all my other schools, I've been accepted into.
Very cool.
Beautiful. So you don't want to jinx it? I
I want to know.
I certainly understand. No, that's terrific. Now, you obviously your parents are very supportive of OLP and so forth. Are they get involved with some of the activities that you guys do?
Yes, they always get involved and help out in many ways. But I especially remember remember there was an event where they do it every year where it's like bring your father to lunch day. And oh my God, I love that event so much. I'm like, Dad, like you have to get out of work, like come over. And he's like, oh my God, yes. And like we all play the activities and we just bond with so many of my other sisters and other parents as well. And it's just really a day full of joy.
No, I think that's good. Nicole, and then we'll ask Jamie the same question. One of the things OLP also hangs its hat on, there's many things they hang the hat on, is community outreach and doing good things in the community, whether it's with needs of folks for whether they're homeless or there's food insecurity or clothing and all that. What are some of the community outreach you've been involved in?
I have been involved in a lot of clubs at school that have community outreach as well. And outside of school, I'm also part of Fundación Castro Limón.
Yeah, what's that?
And it's a foundation for like people fighting cancer. And I've been involved with it for, I think, over about 12 years, I think. And I've also been a part of this youth group called ESID, which is also like a youth group for teenagers that also go out and do community service. We hold like fundraisers and we always do pray things together and we do a bunch of events together.
Well, that's something. So how did you get involved in the organization that deals with cancer and why?
So one of my friends was actually on the organization before me.
Yeah.
And I remember that their event was Corre con Color, which is running with color. And I remember that she just like reached out to me like, oh my God, like I have this event, like, do you want to come with me? And I was like, oh, like, what do we do? She's like, you're basically going to like run a marathon. And I was like, oh, like that sounds interesting. And I remember I just went there and we just started running. And these people are just like throwing like packages of color on you, like you're running with colors. So when you cross the line, you're just full of different colors.
Like a rainbow or something.
Yeah, like a color run. Drew keeps saying he's going to do a color run one of these days.
I will do a color run one of these days.
All right, I'm holding you to it.
Okay, absolutely. So, Jamie, when you hear these stories and they're repeated endlessly for especially all the time you've been there, talk about just how that must, you and the faculty just must love working with these young women as they're getting involved in community outreach, which we know will be with them for the rest of their lives.
For sure. So we have over 75 clubs that are student-led, student-driven, and 90% of our clubs are dedicated to, again, serving the dear neighbor like our CSJ sisters. And what's so beautiful is our faculty, they serve as moderators. So I'm also the ASB moderator. We have a Clubs for a Cause event. We do that in the spring. We do that in the fall, and that's where our clubs have this opportunity to raise money for their charitable organization that they're choosing. So many of our clubs, they bake, they create, they make, and then they sell their products, and the entire campus comes by. They donate. And then we send the money off to the charities. This year, ASB selected to work with Sacred Heart in Hawaii. And with the fires that devastated their school, their community lost everything.
Right, Lahaina.
Yeah. So ASB, we sold Lay's, we sold stickers, and then we were able to send those proceeds back to Hawaii. So that's just one little sample of, what one of our clubs did, at Clubs for a Cause. So very special.
Yeah, we'll come back from break. We're going to continue that conversation with community outreach. Kristen has some more questions for both of you. We always save time in the second half of the interview what our listeners can do to support your efforts and volunteer, donate, help out, whatever you think. In that aspect, when we return, our conversation with Jamie Flannery, Assistant Principal of Campus Life for the Academy of Our Lady of Peace, joined by Nicole Rubio, a senior class of 2024, going to be doing great things once she gets into college, and will be certainly, no question about it, one of our future leaders. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit. So we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we are back with another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We are talking with our good friends of the Academy of Our Lady of Peace. Jamie Flannery is the Assistant Principal of Campus Life, joined by one of their stellar students, senior class of 2024, Nicole Rubio, and joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, Executive Director of San Diego Writers Inc. Kristen.
Yeah, so we got to hear a little bit about how Nicole came to OSP, but Jamie, I was wondering, what did you do prior to coming to OSP, and what kind of drew you to the school and the kind of work that you do?
So before arriving to OLP, I was actually
OLP. Did I say OSP? OSP is a grant from the city. So sorry.
There's a new school.
I know. Yeah. So many acronyms. Apologies.
No. Before arriving, I actually was living in Philadelphia. I'm originally from Philadelphia, and I was teaching there. And
big praise from Charles over there in the corner. Yeah.
And I relocated for my husband's job here in San Diego. So I applied to OLP. It felt like a natural fit, to be honest. It reminded me a lot of my high school back in Villanova at the Academy of Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. So it felt like home. It still is my home. And I've been there for 12 years, started as an English teacher. Mm-hmm. And now I have my new role, which has been a huge blessing and one that I absolutely love.
Very cool.
One of the things that we talked to Lauren Leck, the head of school for OLP, and the many times she's been on, is just how cool it is when people who graduated from OLP, they never leave. They're always coming back. They're volunteering. They're helping out. Their kids are going now to OLP. So I'll ask you this, Nicole. I'm sure your head is already going, I can't wait to come back and show them what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and so forth. True?
Yes, it's very true.
Yeah. Do you work with some of the alumni of OLP?
Yes, I do, actually. Yes.
In what capacity?
I'm a part of one of the leadership programs that is called Carondelet, which is also part of the Sisters of St. Joseph of Carondelet. And we're student ambassadors, and we have events that we help out alumni, or recently I think it was the class of 1974, actually. Thank you. And they all came to the St. Joseph Mass we had on Tuesday, and we were just welcoming them back, and it was very nice. I think it was very nice and thoughtful how they could feel, then relive how they lived in OLP when they were in our grades.
Well, you're going to be a legacy also. I can just tell right now you're going to have a great career in college and above. What are you interested in?
I was going to ask, you were able to deflect the question about where, but what do you want to study?
Right.
I am a huge communications fan, podcasts, everything. I'm actually one of the morning news anchors at my school.
Cool.
So I really love talking to people as well.
so we've made this offer before, and groups like the Girl Scouts have taken us up on this. And obviously you have to juggle schedules on this. But we will have some of the students that have been on my show co-host for me. So if that's something somewhere down the road, Kristen's getting nervous now. You're replacing me already?
I have to go teach after this. You know this, and I love it. And Drew is very, very mean, but it's a good spot. It's a lot of fun.
Mean. Right.
It's a good mean,
It's
yes.
good mean. But seriously, you're so poised. I was going to say, it sounds like you should be going in communication. Do you want to be behind the camera? Do you want to be behind the microphone? Do you want to be writing? Do you want to do all of the above?
Currently, I am a fan for all. Like, I do journalism at my school.
Great.
I also do internships at my school, and also morning news anchor. And I love being every part of it. Like, there's no I accept that. Like, everything is what I love.
Now, do you see majoring in journalism when you go to college? Or communications or some aspect of it?
I believe so, yes.
Right. So I got my journalism degree before probably your grandparents were born. It was a while ago at San Diego State, and I became a sports writer. Then went into education, then went back to the newspaper, run community and public relations. It's a great field. It just opens you the door for so many different opportunities. And it's, I think, one of the skills. My business partner, Charles Parisi, who was shouting out Philadelphia a few seconds ago, and I talk about all the time, if you're good at communications, you're going to be good at relationships, and relationships make this world go around. And that's what's so cool about it. Jamie, talk about how important relationships are, because that's what OLP is all about.
Relationships are very important because, when we think about our sisters, our founding sisters, their mission was to come to America and give women an education. Here we are now, so many years later. And when I think about OLP and relationships, the sisters' dreams have come true with our sisterhood. So those relationships start at our beautiful conference. When I think about Nicole here talking about coming to our campus this morning, we were chatting and she said, I was just, this little girl in middle school. I remember the speaker and meeting friends and coming into OLP already having some relationships and then building those relationships 4 years later. You meet at a conference and then you're like, wait a second, on that first day of freshman year, those bonds form now, I think, with so many things that we're doing, opening up the doors, Women's Symposium, beautiful, to our community. And that when you come to OLP, you already have those friends, you have those relationships. And again, that sisterhood is so real. It's palpable. You see it, you feel it. And on graduation day, for me, it's so emotional watching so many girls leave, and also our teachers, the relationships they have with their students. It's a beautiful thing, and it's so important. It carries you for the rest of your life, for sure.
It does, and also in the back, they're going to be coming back, so they're not gone forever. We are chatting with Jamie Flannery. She is the assistant principal of Campus Life for the Academy of Our Lady of Peace, joined by Nicole Rubio, senior class of 2024, ready to go into the world of college sooner than later. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. For 6 decades, they've been doing just wonderful things for us folk who live in San Diego County, joined by my co-host, the executive director of San Diego Writers Inc., Kristen Fogel. Kristen?
Yeah, so, you went to this amazing conference, Nicole, and it seems like you've had a beautiful experience at OLP. So what would
OSP.
Oh, no, don't you dare. It's OLP, Our Lady of Peace.
Okay, we got you on tape.
Stop it. I need more coffee. You do have me on tape. Just edit it out. It's fine. What would you tell prospective students kind of coming in? What do you think, when you think about your peers and just what you've gone through the last 4 years, what's kind of like the selling point for them?
Some advice I would say is to honestly follow your heart, do everything that you want to do, because at OLP you can even start a club that you're passionate about. Like, there's never a no. There's always a way through. And always just be outgoing and be yourself. Be your true, authentic, and genuine self.
Cool. I think that's great advice.
Well, what's wonderful about this, and again, mentioning we've had OLP folks on before, and what's always wonderful about it is every student has a voice, and a lot of times students' voices get lost. They're never lost at OLP. If there's any takeaway I have, from this, everybody has a voice, no matter what it is in that area. Jamie, just talk about how so much that is part of the DNA of OLP.
So, talking about voice, I have to say that, our belief is that every student really brings something special and valuable to our community. Our teachers, administration, counselors, coaches, every single person, like I said, there to encourage our pilots to focus on their personal growth, to embrace, and Nikki, I love how, or Nicole, I love how you said that, to embrace their authentic selves, but ultimately to support one another on their unique journey, knowing that every single student is unique and brings something special and valuable to OLP. And I think that is really the most beautiful thing about our school, that every child is seen and heard and loved.
Without question, Kristen.
Beautiful. Yeah. So, just kind of in closing, what can our listeners do to support you or to learn more about the incredible work that you do?
We'll start with you, Nicole.
I'd say just
come to some of the summits, some of the conferences, come to some of the panels and all that.
I'd say yes, especially our Women's Symposium and our beautiful conference that is on April 20th. Okay. I say everyone come and everyone is welcome. And it's going to be a day that people will not forget, hopefully.
Well, that's great. How about you, Jamie?
I want to echo just our beautiful conference. It is coming up. It is on April 20th. The theme this year is OLP Land, where every girl can be what she dreams to be is our theme. And April 20th, you can purchase tickets online, open to girls in 2nd through 8th grade. And we're so excited for this special event. Nikki is Nicole, sorry, I keep calling you Nikki, is one of our leaders and has been planning this event for the last 6 months. So nice. Super excited.
Right. So if someone wants to get a hold of you, they've heard the podcast, and boy, I want like a tour of OLP. How do they get a hold of you? And do you do those?
We do. So we have our admissions director, Deanna Augustini. You can always find her on our website or email one of us, and we would love to take you on a tour. And Nicole here, as one of our Crondelet ambassadors, would love to also be on that tour with you.
Yeah, we just featured Deanna last week, if I'm not mistaken, with the San Diego Italian Film Festival. She's a force.
She is an incredible partner.
Yeah, she really is. Well, wishing you, Jamie, nothing but great success moving forward. Nicole, promise that you stay in touch with us because we'll probably have you back on to talk about your experiences when you go to college and where that college is. And I think one of the cool things about having people make return appearances is, do you remember when you were on a few years ago? What are you doing right now? That makes sense?
Of course.
We're going to do that over there. Kristen Fogel, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me as co-host.
Pleasure's all mine.
Absolutely. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for more than 60 years, doing wonderful things to uplift many of us folk here living in San Diego County. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.